Now, what exactly happened to Silentó? I'm trying to figure that out. A lot of you are probably scratching your heads thinking, who is Silentó? And a lot of other people know who it is, but you haven't heard his name in a while, at least until that little hatchet situation that happened a few weeks back, which is actually what sparked this video idea. So yeah. Let's talk about it. Now, Silentó has definitely been silent for a while, at least music-wise. Most people recognize him as the Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nene guy. Remember that song? It was a really big record back in 2015. I'm not gonna say that I was personally bumping it, but a lot of other people were. It was a hit. The song is currently sitting at over 1.7 billion views on YouTube, which is, like 21 said, a lot. But that's kind of where things ended for Silentó though. He never really managed to get another big song or managed to capitalize off of the momentum he got from this track. The guy was truly an overnight success. You know, he dropped the song and then boom, he was popping. Unfortunately, had no real foundation, no prior tangible success within the industry. He pretty much became a really big name within the industry in a really short amount of time. Just like I said in that Jack Harlow video, once you're on, it's a matter of acting and taking advantage of whatever wave you have going. Otherwise, you're gonna become a has-been, which is the opposite direction of where someone like Jack Harlow is headed at the moment. Jack, as an example, obviously had a track record of good music to back up that what's poppin' success, which in this Silentó case is obviously not what happened, unfortunately. But you might have heard about this story that I'm going to talk about related to Silentó. A couple weeks ago, he made headlines apparently after walking into a random family's house with a hatchet. As you can guess, this headline went absolutely viral on social media. Silentó arrested after walking into random family's house with a hatchet looking for his bae. Rapper Silentó, known for his 2015 viral hit song Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nene, was recently arrested for assault with a deadly weapon and inflicting corporal injury on a spouse or cohabitant. The LAPD confirmed to XXL on Thursday, September the 3rd, that the 22-year-old rapper born Richard Lamar Hawk was taken into custody on Friday, August 29th after walking into a random home looking for his bae while wielding a hatchet in the Valley Village section of Los Angeles. The LAPD said one of the occupants at the home had a gun which stopped him. According to a report from ABC7 on Wednesday, September the 2nd, the homeowners and their children were present at the time of the intrusion, and although they were frightened, no one was harmed. TMZ also reports that a member of the household screamed for help and other people took Silentó to the ground to disarm him. Silentó's friend arrived at the home to tell the rapper that he was at the wrong house and they fled before cops arrived. Now, he was of course, understandably to say the least, picked up by the police after that, and there's that. Fast forward around 2 weeks later, he actually missed his scheduled court appearance, so pretty much it was a no-show. His lawyer appeared in court on the behalf of him. That wasn't enough though. He needed to, of course, be there himself. A warrant was then issued for his arrest. A little over a month later, he got in some more trouble once again, and this time he got arrested for reckless driving. Later, luckily for him, he did get released on the same day, and there was that. Regarding this situation, some footage of his arrest was recently made public.
Go to your car and read my ID.
Sir, you don't tell me what to do.
I'm just saying.
Don't tell me how to do my job.
But I've been through this.
You're doing 143 miles.
I actually don't like the condescending tone the officer had towards Silentó. Yes, he might have broken the law, according to the cop, by driving over the speed limit. And yes, Silentó did give him a little bit of an attitude, but he's not being professional at all from what I can see.
I wasn't doing 103. Can you show me your calibration log where I was doing 143? Please,
Sir,
can you show me?
I got you on laser.
Can you show me?
Have you been drinking tonight?
No.
You haven't been drinking tonight?
I'll leave a link to the full footage in the description below just in case you want to check it out. Now, from a musical perspective, this was just a rapper who got a super viral mega hit. He most likely wasn't ready for all the success that came with the song, perhaps got overwhelmed in the process. I can see how that could happen. Like I said earlier, failed to capitalize off of that momentum, sadly never got to a place where he cultivated some kind of real fan base. Strictly judging this based off of number one, his extremely low numbers on some of the recent songs he's dropped. As you can see, one of these songs right here is barely cracking 5,000 views. Don't forget, this is an artist who has 1.7 billion views on a song of his and has 4.4 million subscribers. Honestly, I don't even want to use this as a laughing matter because it's definitely not funny. Kind of sad how despite having such a big song, he's not really getting any kind of support from the people who are still following him. And the thing is, some of these songs, at least in this one called No Worries I listened to, ain't really that bad honestly. I don't necessarily think it's just the music. I also think the the fact that it's coming from Silentó himself plays a huge part in this. 99% of people only see him as the Nene guy, so we do have a strong case of the panda effect going on here. A couple of other things that played a part in this fall off. One big one is him following up Watch Me Whip with a second edition of it almost 3 years later. Obviously all the hype had died down at that point, and yes, the song did unfortunately flop. Apart from the second edition dropping so late, it didn't sound like an actual follow-up. It sounded way more like a random record with the Watch Me 2 title slapped on it. Speaking of Watch Me 2, the project it was on is titled Fresh Outta High School, which was the first project he dropped after Watch Me blew up. The big issue here is, just like the second edition of the track, it dropped way too late, over 3 years after the song took off. I'm not sure if Silentó had any kind of strategy as he was blowing up in the industry. I think in cases like this, you either have to be ready for it, or you just simply have to be resourceful in that present moment and find, ways to kind of keep that attention. I feel like if this song dropped today in this TikTok era, he might have actually had a shot at lasting a little bit longer, since there are way more avenues to tap into as an artist now. Just on a personality level, I don't think he had anything that set him apart from his hit record. He pretty much became way too identified with Watch Me Whip, and that ultra big moment became the pinnacle of his career. There's two artists I want to use as examples here, starting with Designer, because he was kind of in the same position with Panda, where he wasn't a recognized name before the song blew up, but Designer, unlike Silentó, was in tune with the sound of the game, had a good idea of how he could utilize his style to keep on floating off of that momentum Panda brought him. On top of that, he's just a very likable guy. That's one thing about Designer. He has a very captivating personality, obviously a very energetic character in the rap game, and he happily embraced that. The second artist I want to use as an example is Lil Nas X. Now, I think it's safe to say that that man is far from a one-hit wonder at this point, but he did initially get labeled as one when Old Town Road blew up. Take his music away from the picture, and what you have is a guy who's very social media savvy, knows how to get a reaction out of people and turn it into something positive. That's one of the biggest reasons why Lil Nas X kept on rapidly climbing when Old Town Road took over the world. Most artists who fall into the one-hit wonder category or wrongfully have gotten labeled as one, like Lil Nas X or Designer, because he also had Timmy Turner. Most of these guys always have something that makes them stand out, and Silentó didn't have any of that. What happened to Silentó though is he's a rapper who saw a crazy level of success in a really short time frame, all because of one song. He was ultra big for a moment of time, got a hit, and it was a done deal. That's where his story unfortunately ends. I guess he serves as the prime example of what could happen when a young rapper gets a hit under his belt and simply doesn't stay on top of his game. Getting a big record is just the first step. What are you gonna do after that is the question. Silentó simply didn't have the answer to that question, and as a result of that, that moment slipped away as fast as it came for him. But yeah, Silentó, Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nene. What do you think happened to him as an artist, and why exactly is he not relevant nowadays? What do you have to say about that? Definitely let me know in the comment section below, and let's have a discussion about this.